Systems development. In this video you will learn fundamental concept about systems development. As indicated by the name of the textbook, two primary components of systems development are systems analysis and systems design. Let's define these a little more closely. Systems analysis are those activities that enable a person to understand and specify what the system should accomplish. Analysis is the process of breaking something down into its elementary components to better understand what it is and how it works. Systems analysis is comprised of those tasks to investigate the business needs in order to understand and specify what the solution should do. Systems design are those activities that enable a person to define and describe in detail the solution system. Design is a synthesis type of activity. It is putting things together into a solution. Systems design consists of those tasks to define and describe the solution system, to define how it is to be constructed both at an overall architectural level and at a detailed software level. The Systems Development Lifecycle, or SDLC, is the term that we use to describe the overall process of systems development. It includes all those activities required to go from the first identification of a need to the final up and running information system. There are many different versions of SDLCs and many books that describe these different approaches. Some approaches to systems development have been around for 20 or 30 years. Most of these older approaches had many problems and quite low success rates. More recently, newer variations of SDLCs have proven to be more effective with much higher success rates. In this book, we have taken the current, most successful and well-accepted approaches to the SDLC and distilled out basic core processes. All SDLCs have these 6 core processes, sometimes with different names. No matter which methodology you use in your career, it will have these 6 core processes. Let's discuss them. Core process 1. Identify the problem or need and obtain approval. This is the process that gets the project started. Core process 2. Plan and monitor the project. This includes the project management activities. First, the project has to be planned and scheduled, then it has to be managed as it progresses. Core process 3. Discover and understand the details of the problem or need. Earlier we discussed systems analysis. This core process contains all those activities related to systems analysis. Core process 4. Design the system components that solve the problem. This core process includes the activities for systems design. Core process 5. Build, test, and integrate system components. In this core process, the programming and testing is done. As parts of the system are finished, they are integrated together into a functioning system. And finally, core process 6. Complete system tests and then deploy the solution. In this core process, the user gets to perform acceptance tests, existing files are converted to the new formats, and the new system is deployed and put into production. We use the term system development process or methodology to define the specific version of the SDLC that is being used. 3 of the more popular ones are the Unified Process, Extreme Programming, and Scrum. We will learn more about these later. Each one of these utilizes the 6 core processes embedded within specific steps of that methodology. 2 other concepts related to current methodologies are Agile development and iterative development. Agile development is more of a philosophy than a specific methodology. A methodology such as the Unified Process is agile if it emphasizes flexibility and being responsive to changing requirements. Agile development is one of the newer approaches that has improved success rates. Methodologies that are agile work better in today's dynamic environment. Iterative development, on the other hand, is an approach where the system is grown piece by piece. Each iteration develops a few components which are integrated into a growing system. Finally, let's put these ideas together. This figure illustrates how a typical project will work with agile iterative development using the 6 core processes. The left panel lists the core processes. The right panel illustrates how each core process is utilized during iteration. Multiple iterations are required to complete the project. An iteration usually lasts from 2 to 4 weeks. The size of the humps indicate the amount of effort for that core process in a particular iteration. The early iterations focus more heavily on analysis and understanding. The later iterations focus more heavily on design, programming, and deployment. In the remainder of the textbook, you will learn exactly how to carry out these tasks within each of the core processes.